Chidori. Chidori is the original version and the foundation of many lightning-based techniques. It's how Kakashi turns raw lightning chakra into a deadly weapon. At its core, Chidori works on a pretty straightforward idea, focusing lightning chakra into the palm to create a high-voltage electric current that can pierce through almost any defense. When activated, it makes a sharp, high-pitched sound, like the chirping of 1,000 birds. That's actually where it gets its name. To pull it off, the user needs really good chakra control and insane speed at the same time. You have to keep the lightning stable in your hand while rushing at the target at high velocity. That combo of chakra manipulation and physical speed makes Chidori hard to learn, and even harder to use well in real fights. Chidori is super effective in certain situations, especially when you need to take someone out fast with a precise, direct strike. Its piercing power can break through most types of armor or defensive jutsu, which makes it dangerous against enemies who rely on those kinds of protection. But it does have a big weakness. Because you're moving so fast in a straight line, your field of vision narrows. This is called the tunnel vision effect. That makes it really easy for quick or smart opponents to counterattack. That's also why Kakashi was careful about who he taught it to. Without the Sharingan to predict enemy movements, using Chidori could be a death sentence. In terms of raw power, the original Chidori is one of the strongest single-target jutsu available to mid-level shinobi. It's a bit chakra heavy, but if you land the hit, it's worth it. Chidori can take down enemies who are way above the user's normal level, which is why it's known as a true finisher in battle. The real value of Chidori isn't just in how strong it is when first used, it's in how much potential it has to grow. This technique sets the foundation for a bunch of more advanced versions that come later. It teaches the user how to shape their chakra, how to use lightning-style chakra, aka nature transformation, and how to combine crazy fast movement with ninjutsu. These three things become the building blocks for upgrading Chidori into something even better. Each new form tries to fix the original's weak spots, while still keeping what made it powerful in the first place. Interesting, right? Here, we don't just watch anime. We live every character, every story, every emotion. Don't miss out on exclusive content and fresh takes you won't find anywhere else. Hit that subscribe button now and become part of the most passionate and creative anime community out there. Thanks for the support. This journey wouldn't be the same without you. Next, Raichiri. Yeah, Kakashi's signature move. Raichiri is basically the next level of Chidori. The main difference? It takes the lightning chakra and makes it way more focused and sharp. While Chidori creates a strong electric field, Raichiri compresses that energy even tighter, turning it into a super precise, super deadly force. Kakashi even used it to cut through actual lightning. Yeah, real lightning from the sky. It shows just how much power and control Raichiri has when used perfectly. At that level, the lightning chakra is almost like a blade made of pure lightning. Chidori is already great in certain one-on-one scenarios, but Raichiri takes things up a notch. Thanks to its stronger piercing ability and tighter control, it works well against more types of enemies and more types of defense. That's why Kakashi could keep using it throughout his career, even when he was going up against seriously strong opponents. That said, Raichiri isn't perfect. It still has the same basic weaknesses as Chidori. It burns a lot of chakra. It still needs the Sharingan to avoid tunnel vision, and it still locks the user into a straight line charge, which can leave them open to counterattacks. At the end of the day, it's built on the same foundation as Chidori. Cursed Mark Chidori. The Cursed Mark Chidori is a major power-up in Sasuke's arsenal. It combines his signature lightning technique with the dark energy of Orochimaru's Curse Mark. Instead of the usual bright blue-white lightning, this version takes on a dark, almost black color. Technically, it's still Chidori, but by adding the Curse Mark's chakra, the attack becomes much more powerful. This cursed energy makes the Chidori more unstable and unpredictable, which actually helps it break through higher-level defenses. This was clearly demonstrated during Sasuke's fight with Naruto at the Valley of the End, where this version packed much more destructive force than the regular one. It deals a lot more damage, but the catch is that it only works when Sasuke activates the curse mark, and using that power comes with serious risks. The more he relies on it, the more it eats away at both his body and his mind. Chidori variants. After the time skip, Sasuke's skills with lightning chakra improved a lot. This was when he really started pushing Chidori beyond its original form, turning it into a whole set of new lightning techniques. Each one was designed for different situations and strategies, showing how much smarter and more versatile Sasuke had become in battle. Chidori Nagashi. Chidori Nagashi was Sasuke's first big step in evolving the Chidori. Instead of focusing all the lightning into a single point like the original, Sasuke spreads his lightning chakra through his entire chakra network, covering a few meters around him. This changes the technique from a direct stab into an area-wide effect. He can either send it out as a wave to hit enemies, or keep it close to defend himself, making it useful for both attack and defense in close-range fights. That's why Chidori Nagashi is especially useful when Sasuke is surrounded or fighting multiple enemies. Because this move distributes damage, its critical damage isn't high. It's not a finishing blow. Still, its biggest strength is how flexible it is. Offense, defense, or crowd control, it can do it all. It shows a big shift in how Sasuke fights. He's no longer just a one-hit assassin. He's now thinking about controlling the whole battlefield. He's becoming a smarter, more strategic fighter. Chidori Sword. After creating Chidori Nagashi, Sasuke took things a step further with Chidori Sword. Sasuke channels lightning chakra into his sword, turning the blade into something like a high-voltage cutting tool. The sword still works like normal, but now it slices through things much more easily and adds an electric shock with every cut. The lightning also helps it cut through tougher materials that would normally resist normal blade attacks. This technique works best when Sasuke needs clean, precise strikes instead of wide-area attacks. It's great for one-on-one fights or when facing enemies with strong defenses, but its strength depends a lot on Sasuke's skill with a sword. Unlike techniques that are all chakra-based, this one also needs actual swordsmanship to be used properly. That said, in close combat, it's super effective. Now, instead of always going for big flashy moves, he's learning to pick the right tool for the right job. From wide-range defense, Nagashi, to precise offense, Sword, real tactical growth. Chidori Senbon. Chidori Senbon is another creative spin on Chidori. This time, he splits up the lightning chakra into small needle-shaped projectiles. Senbon. They're fast, sharp, and still pack an electric punch. Even though one Senbon doesn't hit as hard as a full Chidori, you can throw a lot of them at once, and that adds up fast. They also have a paralyzing effect, making it harder for the enemy to move, even if they dodge a few. Chidori Senbon is great for fighting multiple enemies, or for putting pressure on quick or airborne opponents. Sasuke used it effectively against Deidara, who was flying around and hard to hit. By launching a bunch of Senbon in a wide spread, he took out all of Deidara's explosive spiders. This technique trades raw power for quantity and area control. It might not hit as hard individually, but when used right, it can be even more effective than a single attack. The downside is that it takes a lot of chakra and precision to pull off properly. Clearly, Sasuke is learning to control space, target multiple enemies, and fight at different distances. From the close-up Chidori Sword to the mid-range Senbon, he's clearly evolving into a much more well-rounded fighter. Chidori Sharp Spear. This version pushes the technique's range to long distance while still keeping its focused, high-impact nature. Specifically, instead of using lightning at close range like the original Chidori, Sasuke stretches the lightning into a long, spear-like shape that can reach about 10 meters. What makes it special is that the spear can branch out and pierce the target like a beehive. Sharp Spear is perfect when Sasuke needs to hit enemies from far away, especially if they're trying to escape or hiding behind obstacles. It also gives him more safety when facing close combat fighters who are dangerous up close. Sharp Spear is like the final form of Chidori's mid-range potential. While Chidori Senbon focused on lots of small projectiles, this technique is all about one strong, flexible strike. It proves that Sasuke can handle both precision and power with lightning chakra. You see, Sasuke's different Chidori variants after the time skip show how he turned one assassination jutsu into a complete lightning-style toolkit. Each version serves a different combat purpose: defense and close-range crowd control, precise close-quarters attacks and weapon enhancement, or mid-range pressure and targeting multiple enemies. Not every version is about raw strength, but each one plays a unique role in Sasuke's lightning-based fighting style. It's a great example of how he evolved from just using one jutsu to mastering an entire system of techniques. Now, Kirin. Kirin takes things to the next level by using actual lightning from the sky. It's not just a jutsu anymore. It's nature's power directed by Sasuke's control. Kirin works very differently from the other Chidori variants. Instead of making lightning from his own chakra, Sasuke uses the electricity already present in the atmosphere. He basically calls down real lightning by controlling it with his chakra. guiding it like a signal so it hits exactly where he wants. To pull this off, Sasuke needs storm clouds in the sky. If there isn't a natural storm, he can create the right conditions by using fire-style jutsu to heat the air and make thunderclouds. Once the lightning is ready, he shapes it into a massive dragon and brings it crashing down on his target. You see, Kirin is off the charts in terms of destruction, easily a 10 out of 10. Because it's actual lightning, it hits way harder than anything made from normal chakra. It moves at real lightning speed, meaning it's almost impossible to dodge, even for extremely fast opponents. We saw this when Sasuke used it on Itachi and destroyed a huge chunk of the battlefield. It is designed to end battles. It's perfect when Sasuke needs to wipe out a strong enemy or clear a wide area. Because of its huge power and wide impact, it's not something you use casually. It's a final move. The biggest downside is that it's not easy to set up. Sasuke can't use Kirin unless there's already a thunderstorm or he takes time to create one. That means it's not practical for quick, on-the-fly fights. And once he uses it, he can't just fire off another one without resetting the whole storm situation. In short, Kirin proves that true control over the lightning element isn't about how much you can produce. It's about how well you can command the lightning that's already there. Each step in Chidori's evolution shows Sasuke learning more about how lightning chakra works. At first, it was just about making his attack stronger, but over time, he began using lightning in smarter and more creative ways, eventually even controlling the weather to summon real lightning. Lightning Beast tracking Fang. Of course, alongside Sasuke, Kakashi also made significant progress with his Chidori. Lightning Beast tracking. Fang offers something different. Instead of focusing on power, this technique is about smart tracking and pressure. This jutsu turns lightning chakra into wolf-shaped creatures. The wolves are made from lightning chakra, but they behave more like intelligent tools than simple attacks. Once released, they can track and chase opponents. So we can say that this jutsu is especially useful for chasing down and bothering fast-moving enemies. Making chakra into a solid form is already hard, but giving it some level of independent behavior takes things even further. Unlike earlier lightning techniques that need a clear view or specific positioning to hit the target, Lightning Beast tracking Fang can adapt to the fight. You can keep your distance from those close combat masters to stay safe, while controlling the wolf to chase them down if they try to dodge. It's consistent and flexible. This wolf can also keep the pressure on for a long time. That kind of non-stop pursuit gives the user a big edge in battles where raw power isn't enough. And of course, this technique doesn't depend on the weather conditions either. Lightning Beast works in any environment and gives him a way to stay active in battle without waiting for perfect conditions. A nature element master always knows how and when to use different kinds of power. Lightning transmission. Lightning transmission is also meant for fighting multiple opponents at once. Kakashi and his shadow clone each use lightning cutter in one hand, then link the two attacks with a strong lightning rope between them. It's so powerful that it can easily cut through the chakra arms of a tailed beast. They can also use the lightning rope to trap and hold down an enemy. To pull this off, Kakashi needs very precise chakra control. He has to keep the connection stable while making sure each target is hit hard enough to feel it. This technique is a big step forward in terms of strategy. It turns Raikiri into something that's useful not just for personal attacks, but also for managing the whole battlefield, especially in group fights. Lightning transmission works best in mid-range battle. Its real strength is in hitting multiple enemies at once. Each person gets less damage than they would from a single target move, but the total impact across the battlefield can be much greater. The main drawback? It needs enemies to be close enough together. If they're spread out or moving too fast, the lightning can't link them properly. Plus, keeping those lightning connections going takes a lot of chakra, so it's not something the user can spam without draining himself over time. This move is a natural step forward from Lightning Beast. That earlier technique focused on chasing down and taking out one target at a time. Lightning transmission, on the other hand, is about controlling the battlefield and dealing with multiple enemies at once. This shows how his style has shifted, from hunting individual enemies to managing full-scale battles. Susanu Chidori. We have Rasengan, bigger Rasengan, and we have Chidori and very big Chidori. Susanu Chidori is one of Sasuke's most powerful techniques. It combines two of his best abilities, Chidori's piercing lightning and Susanu's massive armored body. This move shows how a basic jutsu can be pushed to the whole new level when it's combined with a powerful form like Susanu. Now we have an attack that's both huge and sharp, combining Chidori's precision with the raw force of a battlefield-level technique. It's the kind of move that can change the tide of battle in a single strike. This Chidori doesn't need the user to get up close. It is especially useful against strong enemies who have tough defenses. Now, it can break through protections that most other attacks can't. Another big plus is how well Susanu Chidori works with Sasuke's other abilities. He can combine it with Amaterasu to make lightning that burns with black flames, or use it for high-speed attacks from the air using Susanu's wings. That makes it easy to adapt depending on the battle. Even though Susanu Chidori is almost maxed out in power, it also uses a huge amount of chakra. Sasuke has to keep up both the massive Susanu and the intense lightning chakra at the same time, which puts a serious strain on his body. Kamui Raichiri. Kamui Raichiri is like the final form of combining two broken abilities. It mixes lightning's raw piercing power with space-time jutsu to make something that completely breaks the rules of normal fighting. It's one of the few techniques that actually worked against someone like Kaguya. Visually, it's wild. Lightning wrapped in swirling Kamui darkness, like it's ripping open reality itself. It looks both magical and terrifying. Purple electricity. Purple lightning shows how far Kakashi has come as a ninja, especially after losing the Sharingan. In the Kakashi Hiden novel, Kakashi mostly uses purple electricity to attack from a distance, but sometimes he uses it by touching things, like when he put his hand on spilled alcohol to send lightning across the area. He can also control how strong the lightning is. For example, he once used just enough power to remove someone's explosive vest without setting it off or hurting them. In another case, Kakashi used all his chakra to fire such a strong blast of purple electricity that it caused the clouds around him to start raining. Sometimes purple electricity is used in ways similar to lightning cutter, like focusing lightning in the hand and dashing at the enemy. Kakashi can even release purple lightning all around his body, like an area of effect attack. You see how reliable and adaptable it is. Kakashi can use it in lots of different combat situations without burning himself out, and, most importantly, without needing the Sharingan. That makes it not just a strong move, but a smart one too. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.